Hands up if fuzz has ever wrecked your tone. Too loud, too messy, or just not cutting through. Yep, I felt the pain too. Big time. It's why so many of us ditch fuzz altogether. But hold up, because today I'm tackling that mess with a lineup of solutions that will save your sound. Curious how to go from hating fuzz to loving it? Well then watch to the end, because I've got you covered with some killer tips. Hey guys, glad you can join us today. So let me start about this this love-hate relationship that I've had with fuzz, or maybe I should call it hate-tolerate relationship I've had with fuzz. It all started when the first time I heard the fuzz was around 1966, and it was on TV, and Paul Revere and the Raiders came on singing "I Can't Get No Satisfaction." And at the time, this was like really different. I said, yeah, that's kind of a buzzy, weird sound, but it kind of sounds cool and it's different. It's really different and unique, and it draws attention to the song. And so, I didn't think much of it after that day, but, it was just a good impression, overall good impression. And then a few years later, I had my next encounter with fuzz, and that was watching the Woodstock movie. And out comes old Mr. Jimi Hendrix, and he proceeded to blow me and everybody else that was a guitar player at that time, because no one had ever taken the guitar, number one, to such a solo thing. I mean, it was always part of a band, and you took a solo. But he was a solo guitar player while he was singing, and all the way through. But the most important thing about the takeaway from that day was that he took the guitar and made sound effects and explosions and insanely soaring melodies that he crafted, and chord slash leads that were like interwoven with each other. He had a very unique style, and he also had a very unique sound. And that sound was attributed to the fuzz, because back then, remember, amplifiers didn't have a whole lot of gain. His amplifier probably had one of the most gain, but it still was just past the point of breakup. It wasn't, the modern amps that we have today, which have incredible sustain, and you can just play a note for an hour and get feedback. And all this stuff was not possible back then. So this use of the fuzz to get that sound out of a standard amplifier was very creative, very amazing. And it impressed me to the point where I wanted to possibly, experiment with it. So at that time, I was in a garage band playing over at the drummer's house, and like a lot of us were, learning how Beatles songs and all kinds of songs. And one day I went to a local service merchandise, which was a chain of stores. So I go to this store, and I went ahead and I found a fuzz there, and I thought, well, this is interesting. And I think it was a fuzz face, a round one. I don't think it was a clone, because back then there were no Chinese clones. But at any rate, this was, one of the popular fuzzes at the time. And then I took it to band practice, and I was giddy like a little boy, just all excited. Heck, I was only a teenager anyways. So I plug it in, and with all this excitement, and I turn up my amp, I turn on the fuzz box, and I get this sound. And to call it a sound is a little bit of a misnomer. It was a crazy broken amplifier kind of sound. The sound like if somebody took razor blades and cut on and hacked all of my speakers, or taken the electronics and pulled them all out and threw them back in together. I mean, this thing just sounded horrible. Well, needless to say, I was disappointed, and I put it in the box, and I ended up giving it away, or I don't know, throwing it away. I don't have it now, and I usually hoard stuff. So I don't know what I did with it. But tonight, what I'm going to do today is, until like I got this modeling amp about a couple years ago, until I got that, now it has a bunch of effects that I would have never bought because I didn't like them, or I just didn't think they were part of my sound. And in playing with that, and experimenting a little bit, and reading and studying on the internet how some of these settings were done, I'm able to get some sounds that actually sound good. And so I decided to put a collection of all these sounds, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people that have struggled with exactly how to get a fuzz to, sound decent, and even good. You can actually make it sound good. I mean, it's not going to have the same sweet distortion, that a tube amp does when it's got a pristine high gain front end. That's different. But it has a very textured, complex kind of distortion if you put it in the right type of layers. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it so that you'll enjoy the use of fuzz like I didn't for a very long time. So here we go. Okay, so the first strategy that I'm going to go over applies to when you have a typical configuration where most people have an effects pedal into a clean amp. And you want to be able to get a fuzz that's decent and not going to kill you. And we also want to be able to adjust it, and especially while you're playing. And this is a really cool way to do that. We're going to start out with a clean amplifier. I've got here basically a Fender GTX 100, which is a modeling amplifier. It's got a lot of really nice amps, and a whole array of distortion effects and chorus flangers, all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to use this amp directly wired in. It has cabinet emulation, and I've got it set up right now as a twin reverb. And what I'm going to do is I've got a fuzz face type distortion pedal, and I'm going to go and show you how to set this up. So as you can see here, I've got a twin reverb set up as a patch, and we have just maximum gain. The volume is really the final output, so that doesn't really matter that much. But we have treble set a little bit high. The mid-range is just a little bit below that, and the bass is just a little bit higher. So it's just pretty standard tone controls for that. We also have this fuzz face. It doesn't look like a fuzz face, but they call it round fuzz. And we have the gain. We want to set that fuzz to a higher gain here. And so I'm going to turn it up to a point where I know it doesn't get noisy. Now I've got a noise gate on for right now, but basically at this level here, you're getting the maximum amount of fuzz without going over crazy into a really noisy situation, because as you add the fuzz, you're going to get a lot of noise. And then we're going to want to set the input to a little bit lower, so we're not going to overdrive it all that much. Yeah, I leveled about 4.5. That should be all right. And let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so the good thing about this particular setup is that you can start out, let's say, at full volume, and we can bring it down a bit, and we can get a little bit cleaner. And we can lower it a little bit more and get some pretty clean sounds. All right, so, the one point about this that I just want to make is that you do want to turn your fuzz knob up and all the way, and then back it off until the hiss becomes a lot less noticeable. Basically, when you do that, you're going to be at the sweet spot of the fuzz level. Then the volume, you want to back that down to maintain some clarity and some punch. So you want to keep it high enough to get that, but you don't want to bring it down too low or too high in this particular type of setup. Now another twist on this same variation with a clean amp is you can push the clean amp a little bit into some saturation and reduce the amount of fuzz so that you're not having a really fuzzy sound, but you're more or less using the fuzz as an overdrive. into a clean amp. And that can give you a nice variation when you press the button. Basically, all we want to do is set the fuzz very low, almost off. Not quite off, somewhere around there. And then we want to take the level, which is going to be our drive. We want to bring that up quite a bit, substantially, so that we're enabled down. Now we're bypassed. So now when we turn it on, and again we can reduce our volume. Reduce it some more. Get a nice clean sound even though we're running it through a fuzz. Miracles, huh? This effect works really well with both clean pickups, and it really has a really good sound. Let me turn it back on. And it has a really good sound with more aggressive pickups like a humbucker and stuff like that, or P90s. All right, so let's go back to what I was talking about earlier about Hendrix, and the amplifier that he used, which was a 59 plexi amplifier, had a pretty good amount of gain for amplifiers at that time, but it didn't have the kind of gain like we do these days. And what he most likely did, I'm sure he did, was to use the fuzz as kind of a fuzz, of course, but to use it as a boost, where we now have boost pedals. And so the way you accomplish that is you simply go here and you crank down the fuzz amount to about 3.9, somewhere around there. And then the level, you want to bring that up quite a bit. It's probably in the 7.98 range, somewhere around there. And that gives you a large amount of overdrive and a minimal amount of fuzz effect. According to Fender and this modeling amp, they call that a 70s British, but it's actually a Marshall Super Lead, which is what's referred to as a plexi, and which was the amplifier that Hendrix used most of the time, especially at Woodstock. So this is what the plexi amp sounded like without any effects or anything pushing it. This is gain pretty much at full, and amplifier at pretty much at full, everything full blast, and this is what it sounds like. All right, so now we'll take that sound and we'll add the fuzz as we had set it up. And this is what we get. So you can see that we have very punchy, inspiring tone, improved gain and sustain. So this is what you want to use for Hendrix type tones imitating the 60s and that era of sound. This is what we used a lot back then. If you haven't noticed, my aim is to provide you with setup tips, tricks, and mods to help you save time, money, and to fulfill your enjoyment of playing the guitar. If you value my videos, I would sincerely appreciate it if you'd click on the little red icon and subscribe to my channel. That way you'll never miss one of my upcoming videos. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. Okay, on this next bonus tip, I'm going to show you if you only have a clean amplifier like the demonstration with the twin that we've had, and you want to get that creamy overdrive sustain forever sound. Well, I'm going to show you how by just adding a simple Boss DS1, of course it could be a tube screamer or any other kind of overdrive pedal, in conjunction with your fuzz pedal to get that sound that you have wanted to get but couldn't figure out a way to do it. And now that you have a fuzz and maybe an overdrive, the two together can make a powerful combination. So let's watch. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back to the twin reverb, and this time I'm putting a what they call an orange box, which is actually a Boss DS1 distortion effect, and we're going to run that into the fuzz box. So I've got pretty moderate low to low levels of for the final level. For the distortion, it's a little bit less than normal, and for the tone, it's just a little bit shade, a little bit below the center. So let's enable that and see what that sounds when you plug all three of them together. As you see, you got a much creamier sound, and it's actually got a little bit more mid-range this way. Let me go back and bypass that. And here's just the fuzz in front of the twin. You can see it adds a little mid-range there. And of course, if we take away the fuzz and we end up with just a clean amplifier, this is what we started out with. Add the fuzz. Of course, we're using it as an overdrive here. And go back to adding the orange box. And we got more of a modern overdrive tone here. So there you have it, a bunch of tips and tricks to get your fuzz to actually sound good. One final little tip is that the amount of picking attack that you give it can greatly affect and enhance the sound of the fuzz. You can make it sound very aggressive, and you can make it sound very mellow. It's very sensitive to your pick attack. So be sure to use that as part of your style to make, the sound of the fuzz just sound incredible. So there you have it. Fuzz doesn't have to be that tone-wrecking monster that we all love to hate. From dialing back your guitar to volume, to cranking up your amp, to tweaking your pedal chain, or even how you pick. We've covered a ton of ways to tame that beast and even make it sing. But here's the fun part. It's your turn now. Grab your guitar, get your fuzz, try out these tips and see what works for you. So if this flipped your fuzz hate into fuzz love, then go smash that like button and hit subscribe. And let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching, and now go make some noise.